Recently, I flew to a client to help them with their upcoming launch. Now, they've put over 1 million people through their last couple of launches, and without a doubt, they are the absolute best in their field, and they are true marketing masters in their own right. Yet even still, they paid me a whopping $25,000 just to come down and put a separate set of eyes on their marketing strategy. So I got up at 4:40 a.m., I caught a flight, did the consult, caught a flight back, and at 5 p.m. I was home that same day. All expenses paid for, plus $25K, which was paid in advance, and after the consult, they wanted to book another $25K a day, and are even now suggesting additional compensation opportunities related to performance, including over a $500,000 incentive if I can improve their campaign by just 1.5% conversion. Why should you care? Because in this video, I'm going to break down for you how to get high-paying consulting clients, how to charge and justify your absurd fees, and how to run these consulting sessions so no matter what you charge, the client feels that they got you for a bargain. First though, let's address a big issue. Most marketers, they're going to tell you that straight consulting, which means getting paid straight for the hour, is a really dumb idea. And theoretically, they're right. It absolutely does not scale. It is manual labor, but it's clean. I started doing this type of consulting early on in my career at a much lower rate of $250 an hour. And I didn't do it strictly because of the money. My primary focus was to sharpen the axe, which was my coaching skills. And so what better way to learn something than to do it in the field and make some money while you're learning? It's also the best market research that you could ever hope to get, upfront and personal. Now, if you do just 10% of your business as consulting, you really start to understand your clients in a way that gives you insights into what products and services to launch and what angles, hooks, and pitches that you can use to crush it in your marketing. Plus, as you'll often see, paid consulting is just a door opener. If you get it to improve your worth, then you will very easily be able to parlay it into other opportunities that are scalable, such as partnerships, integration deals, performance incentives, and so on and so forth. You can even get equity in companies that you first started off with just a flat consulting fee. Now, at $25,000 a day, if I just did 2 of these deals a week, that's $2.6 million a year net. Not too bad, right? So if you're interested in consulting, let's break down now how to get clients, how to charge those high fees, how to run those sessions, and how to leave your clients extremely happy that they paid you and make them even want to do more business with you. Let's start with getting the clients. The worst way you can get a consulting client is a direct, meaning directly soliciting clients for consulting. That's almost impossible to do. So instead, what you want to do is build assets where clients come to you and then based on those assets, ask you to consult with them. So things like white papers, lead magnets, speaking in front of clouds, low ticket front end products, services, etc. are all great ways to bring clients in the door to prove your worth. You get the lead, you make them aware of your consulting in the deliverable, and then they inquire to you on booking you for your consulting. Now, I've gotten $25,000 a day clients from $7 ebooks, believe it or not. In fact, some of the best clients you'll ever get are from books. Billionaires, they don't go through online courses or study YouTube videos and TikToks, but they absolutely do read books. And in your book and other content that you develop, you can reference consulting clients as teaching examples. So you're teaching people, but you're also letting them know that you have consulting without outright selling it. You might be thinking though, Jason, what if I don't even have my first consulting client? Well, you can do that for free. Here's how I did it. Originally, way back in 2008, I sold a $37 ebook, and as a bonus, you got 30 minutes of consulting with me. And financially, that doesn't make any sense. But I knew that it would be an easy way for me to ease into the consulting space, and it would also allow me to get these case studies that I could use, which then would allow me to start charging a much higher rate. Now, the bonus consulting that I made to that offer was conditional. So a $37 ebook buyer still had to jump through just a couple hoops to qualify for the consulting. So by the time they got to me, I was already dealing with the creme de la creme, the best clients. And now I had a few dozen clients that I got to practice on, no pressure, with a bar set so low that I could only make them happy, even if my consulting was meh at best. Now, most important, these clients were likely to follow my consulting and get results because they had to jump through the hoops to get to me first, which is then allowing me to create these wonderful case studies. So, nothing succeeds like success, yeah? Using a conditional consult as a bonus to something else you're offering is a killer way to get in the consulting game with the deck stacked in your favor for inevitable success. Now let's talk about fees. $25K a day breaks down to $3,125 an hour for an 8-hour day. In fact, I charge $3,125 for a 1-hour Zoom session, and I suggest in advance most clients book at least 2 hours up front, because 1 hour we kind of just get warmed up. To the average person, charging $3,000 an hour sounds insane, but that's because they don't understand two fundamental concepts of pricing strategies. Number one, different people value things differently, and number two, supply and demand. So let's look at some round numbers for a second. Let's say $1,000. If you make $50,000 a year, then $1,000 is 2% of your salary. Now, if you make $5 million a year, then $1,000 is 0.02% of your salary, or equivalent to $10 to somebody who makes $50,000 a year. So when I deal with high-end clients, I feel like my $25K a day rate is equal to about $10 to them. And it's not a cost anyway, because the result of what they learn from me will make them far more than what they pay me to learn it. Which leads to the second thing, which is supply and demand. The obvious insight here is the more scarce something is, the more value it has. So if 100 people want to hire you, but you can only take on one of them, then guess what? Your services will go to the highest bidder. In fact, I had a $25K a day client come to me once wanting to book another day a few months from January at the beginning of the year. And I was like, I don't know. I'll have to look at my schedule. Probably let's do September. I don't want to do May. And then the client says, what if I paid you $40,000 for the day instead? And my response is, May is perfectly doable. So this is basic supply and demand. Yet there's a deeper level to supply and demand. And that's this. You should only take on clients where you know that even if your worst efforts are given, it will still result in a net positive for them. So my favorite clients are those who are likely going to figure it out on their own in 6 months. And I just help get them there in 6 weeks instead. The biggest secret that I can give you as a consultant is to be very choosy about your clients. I only take on a handful of clients a year because of the fact that consulting does not scale as a business model, and because it is very hard work. And so I'm naturally scarce and therefore can price high. And because I choose just a few clients a year, I can pick only the best in the easiest to work with. And then guess what? I don't even have to try to get more clients, because these days almost all of my clients come to me through referrals, which makes the last part of consulting really, really easy. And that's how you run the sessions with your client. So this recent client who I worked with has a funnel that should produce about $25 million for their upcoming launch if their historic 2% conversion holds true. After some pleasantries with this client, some rapport building, within the first hour of the session, I asked the client, what would it take to get your conversion rate to 4%? And it just set his mind going in all the right directions. Because if we can double conversions, 25 million becomes 50 million. So 25K to me, 25 million to them, good deal. But most important, we have a North Star, something to filter the whole day around. Everybody in the room's on the same page. And now we just need to explore where the big leverage points are that can most dramatically affect the conversions to get it from 2, 2.5 to 4. If you don't have the confidence yet to lead a consulting session from the jump, then you can ask the following questions. What would need to happen for you to feel you got far more than your money's worth in our time together today? That's question number one. Question number two, how will you know when you got the right answers to your most important needs? And that's it. You got your agenda that you can run the rest of the consulting session around with. Since you've made it this far in the video, I got a massive value to give you in consulting, and it's this. Your expertise is only a very small part of the overall value that you provide to clients. Here are some other ways in which you provide massive value in consulting. Number 1, accountability. Number 2, being a sounding board. Number 3, being the scapegoat. Well, the consultant told us to do it. We'll allow the CEO to move forward and needs to do what needs to be done. Number 4, giving support and validation to already good ideas that somehow haven't been executed on yet. That happens all the time. And number 5, reminding the client of what used to work well in their business and for no sane reason was abandoned. And I think I could train a 10-year-old and have them charge $1,000 an hour and be able to go into any industry with any client and without any expertise, and just asking the right set of questions based on the 5 things above, they could help the client find answers that are already inside of them, but right now they're just having trouble locating them. So there you go. Take these consulting insights, put it to work, charge insanely high prices, get them, and then come back to me and just write me a thank you note.